discussed. Now, what is the schema? It's a nothing but a collection of the database objects, like example table, view, indexes, procedures, packages, and we have multiple schemas in real time, like a PO, AP, AR, GL, inventory. Around 200 plus schemas will provide by the Oracle by default. For each department, there is one schema. Like a example, we will take a procurement team. There is one separate team. There is a finance, then account payables and account receivables. So like manufacturing. For each department, there is a separate schema. In that schema, we could see the corresponding tables, packages, procedures, whatever the database objects. Then how to connect one schema object from another schema by using the grant, we'll connect. And the better here, when you write any SQL statement, give the schema name dot. So example, search start from a pivot.emp. That's the best way of writing the SQL statements. Then how to connect to one database object from another database by using the DB link. So we have to take the @ symbol. So after the table, just you have to mention the @ whatever the DB link name. If you don't know this, you have to get it from the DBA guys. You have to drop a mail to DBA. The DBA will let you know about the DB link name. Then the file types. So as a developer, we need to develop a .SQL and .fmb, forms model binary, then the .rdf, report to definition file, then WFT, workload type, prog files, program files. We can develop a .sh also. It's a different shell script, but most of the times we will go with the prog files. It's easy for developers. Then develop a PLL, program link library, that means packages. Then the .rtf, rich text format. Then CTL control file. Okay, so these many files will develop as part of our Oracle Apps development. Okay, so today we'll go to ERP. What is an ERP? Okay, now what are the advantages and ERP vendors in the market? So ERP means it's a non-pronounce. It's an enterprise resource planning. So normally, if you go anywhere, we could see a different type of resources in the company. So it's called as the men, machine, material, then money. So if you utilize these four resources properly, you will get more productivity. That means we'll get a good productivity in that particular year. So to resource properly, integrate the resources properly. So most of the companies will use the ERP product. Okay, maybe the Oracle applications or SAP. A number of ERP products are there. So most of the clients will go with the either Oracle applications or SAP. Yeah. So it's enterprise resource planning to utilize the resources properly. Okay, that's nothing but a software. It's already developed by some companies like a Oracle or maybe SAP or PeopleSoft. Okay, it's a already developed software. So with that, we are going to implement for the particular client or particular company. So to get a more productivity or to make the automate of the process. So in the olden days, suppose I want to make a payment to my supplier. So the finance team will take a check and sign on that and hand over the check to the suppliers. So nowadays, I don't want to go to bank. Yeah. So everything is in the online. So even suppose take Infosys, total 2 lakhs employees are there. So at the end of the month, I want to deposit employee salaries into their bank accounts. I don't want to go to bank. So simply I will sit in the office and I will run one program in Oracle applications. Nothing but a ERP. So automatically one file will generate and file will transfer to bank server. Okay. Then bank people will deposit salary into employees. So within the minutes of time, everyone will get the salary. So in the olden days, we were using the manual process. So once we go with the ERP, so everything is the automation. So that's why, yeah. So nowadays, most of the companies are going to implement the ERP product. Okay. So it is a software system that integrates various business process. Like example, retail is there. Like take Bajaj Finance, okay, or Bajaj showroom, yeah. So they do have multiple showrooms. They're making the transactions in the showroom. End of the day, whatever the transactions that happened immediately, that means they will transmit to Oracle applications. then they will come to know what about the profit or loss. So that's called as the integration. In showrooms, they will use the different platforms like a Salesforce. They won't use the Oracle applications. But at the end of the day, whatever the data we are maintaining in the Salesforce or maybe some third-party applications, we'll move it to Oracle applications. In the Oracle applications, we're going to make the transactions. That means reporting, whatever it may be. So profit or loss. So end of the day, all the transactions will go to Oracle applications. So that means the client will use in the showrooms, it's a different platform or maybe different software. To maintain the transactions, we'll use the Oracle applications. Or sometimes most of the companies will use Oracle application as the front end also. Example, if you go to Vodafone or maybe the Airtel, so if you go to showroom here, you could say they can open the Oracle applications. So they will take their service request or suppose if you want a new SIM, so they will raise the ticket in the Oracle application. So most of the companies will use the Oracle application as the front end, but some companies will use the different systems. With the systems, we're going to transfer the data to Oracle applications. So that is the main purpose of the ERP. That means the ERP can manage your end-to-end business. So if you go to any company, okay, na? So not only the finance companies, like manufacturing companies, if you take Arabindo or Reddy's Labs, anything, or maybe ICICI Bank or Vodafone, Airtel, anything, yeah. So they have multiple business. They have the procurement, they have the finance, they have the market, there's nothing but the marketing. So they have the assets management. So they want to manage the assets, whatever the assets okay, they have, like machines, land, everything. So the company will support okay, all the business. So no need to write a separate software for the people. Okay, if I buy the ERP product, by default ERP can give the procurement softwares. Then automatically it will give the finance related software also. Then marketing, then asset management, everything will give the even the manufacturing also. So that is the power of the ERP product. Yeah, that one software can manage end-to-end business of your company. Almost all the transactions can support by the ERP. So that's why most of the companies will prefer to go with the ERP implementations instead of buying the separate procurement software, separate finance team. So again, that is a headache to developers. Company, they need to integrate the softwares. I don't want to go with the individual products. Then, so it's a single product that is called as the ERP. Enterprise resource planning. With that, by default, with the product, I can manage the main transactions. Like default, I will provide the reports also. Okay, now with that, we are going to develop the reports. That means a customer balance report or statement report or invoice report or PO report. Everything I will get it in the default ERP product. Maybe some enhancement is required. So for that, we'll work on that. That we'll see later. Yeah. So as of now, we're going to discuss what is the ERP. Okay. So this ERP, we have okay, now, multiple vendors in the market. So top two in the market is the Oracle applications. Oracle applications. The second one is the SAP. Okay. And also we have the PeopleSoft and okay, now CBEL. Just I think MS Dynamics, JD Edward, Tally. I think Tally also one of the ERP, but it's at the tier 3. Okay, no? So most of the small companies will use the Tally. Big companies want to go to Tally. You know? So these many ERP softwares are there in the market or ERP products, but most of the companies will prefer to go with either Oracle applications or SAP. So particularly finance related companies will go to Oracle applications. So coming to SAP are only manufacturing companies. Like automobile companies will prefer to go with the SAP because SAP is good for the manufacturing. Yeah, Oracle applications is good for finance. But Oracle Labs will support the manufacturing. Even SAP also will support the finance. But most of the manufacturing companies, like Aravindo or maybe Singer and Colress, okay, na? Those companies will prefer to go with the SAP. Okay, but most of the finance related, like ICICI Bank, ICICI Bank is using the Oracle applications, or Vodafone, Airtel. So those are using the Oracle applications. Okay, so depending upon their business here, they will prefer to go with the ERP. So this many ERP vendors are there in the market. So that too, Oracle application is the okay, no, low cost as compared with the SAP. So SAP is a okay, no, high cost implementation. Yeah, high cost. Okay. So that's why
Recording in progress.
most of the companies will prefer to go with the Oracle applications as compared with the SAP. Like, so these many ERP vendors are available in the market. Okay. So now we came to know what is the ERP. Like, it's a already developed by someone. It's a ready to use the software. Like example, Microsoft OS. So I don't want to do any customizations. I can buy the Microsoft OS, then I can use as it is like a ERP. Okay, na ERP also ready. Okay, na use software. Yeah. So directly we can buy the license from the ERP vendors and we can implement for our company, then I can use the ERP product, same as your Microsoft OS. Then we came to know what are the ERP vendors are available in the market. Okay, now, yeah, we'll go with the models. So whatever the models will support by the ERP, not only the Oracle applications, any ERP. Okay.
సార్ మీ సైడ్
So
నుంచి రికార్డ్ చేయండి సార్.
యూ హ్యావ్ ట్రై సారా, మీరు రిక్వెస్ట్ రైజ్ చేస్తారా, నేను పర్మిషన్ ఇస్తాను.
ఒక్క నిమిషం సార్.
I think some Venkatesh has already raised a request.
ఓకే సార్, నేను రైజ్ చేస్తాను సార్.
ఒకసారి రైజ్ చేయాలి నువ్వు. ఎవరు ఆల్రెడీ రిక్వెస్ట్ రైజ్ చేశారు, నేను పర్మిషన్ ఇచ్చాను. వెంకటేష్ ఆల్రెడీ స్టార్టెడ్. యా, okay. So now we'll go to models. So what are the models will support by the ERP? So models nothing but a department. Yeah. So if you go to a particular company, so you could see multiple departments like a procurement, let's say called as a PO department, then the finance department, marketing, sales. So for each department, there is the terminal is called as the model. Okay, no? So now I'm going to cover that. So ERP can support the finance models, then it can support the SCM. That means supply chain management, then it will support the CRM, sorry, HRMS, nothing but a human resource management. So now in the cloud, it's a fusion. Yeah, that is the latest in the market. The Oracle renamed to HCM, human capital management. Human capital in the R12 year. R12 is the release 12. We are going to learn R12, but one more is that it's called as the fusion. So let's latest here in the market. So in the R12, Oracle is calling it as the HRMS, Human Resource Management System. But in the Oracle Fusion, nothing but a cloud. So Oracle can HRMS rename it to HCM, Human Capital Management. Then it will support the CRM, nothing but a customer relationship management. Next, it will support the manufacturing. So in the manufacturing, again, we have the two types. One is the discrete manufacturing. The second one is the process manufacturing. A discrete means like a batch wise. Some automobile companies are there, or maybe the car manufacturing that comes under the discrete. If the demand is there, they will manufacture here. Otherwise, they will stop the productions. But process manufacturing is not like that. Like a continuous, like a pharma industry or cement, okay, na? Those it's a continuous. That's a process manufacturing. Oracle can support both. It can support the discrete manufacturing as well as the process manufacturing. Then EAM, nothing but enterprise asset management. Enterprise asset management. Example, Oracle apps will use by the APSRTC to maintain the buses here. So for every 5,000, there is a service. They need to change the some oil. Okay, na? So some services that comes under the EAM, Enterprise Asset Management. Our APSRTC, okay, na, is using the Oracle applications mainly for the EAM, asset management for the vehicles. Okay. Finance, supply chain management, HRMS, CRM, manufacturing, EAM, and PA. PA means project accounting. Project accounting. So, example, if you go to Infosys, they're handling the multiple projects. For each project, there is one PM, project manager, then the resources like developers or functional peoples or DBA. Then what is the budget in particular year and what is the revenue? How much revenue we are getting from the customer? So that comes under the PA, project accounting. Okay. So Oracle apps will support to this many models or this many departments. Even SAP also will support same way. You won't see much difference between the Oracle applications and SAP. Both are ERP softwares founded. Okay. So any queries still now related to models or in ERP? So now we have forget about this many year. So it's impossible to learn here. Even I don't know. I know I work on the only supply chain management, HRMS, CRM. Yeah, I work on the discrete. I never I never get a chance to work on the process. So I'm good with the EAM and the project accounting. But for you guys, so we are putting max 4 to 5 years. So the finance and yeah, okay, na. So the finance and SCM is the enough, yeah. Okay, even 10 years also. So finance and SCM is a boundary for you. So forget about remaining here. May if you get a chance in the future, maybe okay, na, you got some project on the HRMS. So at that time, okay, na, may you will get experience. Otherwise, so most of the requirement in the market, so one on the finance and the supply chain management. Most of the calls here, most of the clients are implement only these two. They want to go with these many models. Suppose sometimes if they implement, may you will get a chance. So there are separate HRMS developers here. Forget about that. Mainly we are working on the finance and SCM development. Okay. So in the finance and SCM here, again we have the sub-modules are there. Now we are going to discuss that. In the finance, again we have the sub-modules. So we'll discuss that. The first one is the AP, nothing but a account payables. Account payables. So this comes under the debit here. Okay. So forget about that here. What is the debit or credit? Select credit. Okay. Suppose your father deposited 10,000 to your account here. So you are calling it as the debit or credit?
Credit.
Hmm. Credit. So that is the transactions is generated by the bank. The bank is saying that 10,000 rupees will pay to you. That's a bank reference. బ్యాంక్ కూడా ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు 10,000 రూపాయలు నీకు బాకీ ఉన్నాను అంటున్నాడు వాడు. It's a bank side transactions. So whenever you receive the 10,000, the bank is sending the notifications or message saying that 10,000 rupees I will pay to you. Okay, but as a person, so I will consider the 10,000 as the debit. It's not that it's a credit here. Credit is the bank statement, bank transactions. So whenever 10,000 with you, is it a debit or credit? Or 10,000 deposited by your father? Forget about the bank. So as a person, as a company, I will treat that a transaction as the debit, not a credit. Forget about the bank wise. Yeah. Okay. So coming to AP, account payables. So that means once I receive any goods or services from my supplier, I will pay to my supplier. So once I make a payment to my supplier, the amount will go from my company to supplier. So that's called as the credit. Okay. So the blind logic here, debit means what comes in. what comes in. That is a goods or cash or whatever it may be. Credit means what goes out. What goes out. So forget about bank transactions here. Suppose someone deposited some amount into your bank account, the bank will treat as the credit. As a person, you will treat as the debit. Okay, same concept to company also. Suppose in the AP account payables, something I received from my vendor or my supplier, I want to make a payment to my vendor. At the time, my company will record the transaction as the credit. That means amount is going outside to my supplier. Right. Then next year, yeah, let's say account receivables. Account receivables. So now you guys have to tell. It's a debit or credit. Account
Debit.
it's a debit. I'm collecting from my customers. Collect from customers. That's called as the debit. What about this? Pay to suppliers. May you can call it as the word is the vendor also. Both are same, yeah. Supplier or vendor. Right. End of the day. So I do some debit and I do some credit. So end of the day, both will go to GL, nothing but a balance. General ledger to know the balance sheet, to know the profit or loss. At the end of the day, yeah, all the transactions, all the debit and all the credits will go to GL model to know the balance sheet. Then AP and purchase to my company. Okay, na? And also I'm purchasing expense items also. Asset item and the expense item. Example, I purchased one pen to my company, or I purchased one laptop to my company. So out of these two, which one is the asset item? Which one is the expense item?
Laptop is asset and
Asset item and laptop is
Laptop
asset.
is asset item and the pen is the expense item. Correct now? So coming to pen here, so the initial value is the example okay, 50 rupees, then no depreciation. So we'll use for 1 week or 1 month, then we'll throw to dustbin. Okay, na? So we won't store that pen. But coming to asset items, every year the asset value will go down or up. Maybe there is appreciation or maybe the depreciation. Example, initially I spent 52,000 to buy the laptop. Yeah. What about the second year value? The same or it will go down?
go down.
It will go to first year it is a 40,000 K, then 30 K, then at last it will go to zero. That's called as a scrap. Then throw to dustbin. Okay, na? Or remove that scrap from our company. So that's called as the depreciation. I purchased one land to my company. Then what about the asset value? Hmm.
Increase.
The value will go down. The value will go. That's nothing but will get appreciation. Suppose 2 crores asset I purchased. Later it will go to 2.2 crores. Then okay, na, maybe 3 crores. Like that. The value will go. Okay, na? So in every quarter or every year, I need to know how many crores of assets in my company. Forget about as a person, yeah. We know how many assets we have, how many lands and how many apartments we have. But company here, they have multiple assets, thousand of machines and laptops, then okay, now some lands, buildings. So I need to know that. Example, take a Reliance, crores of assets they have. Every quarter, they are going to publish. We have this many assets. Okay, now this is the appreciation, this is the depreciation for each machine. So that will taken care by the one module that is called as the FA, nothing but a fixed asset. With this module, so we are going to track your asset value, whether the asset got its depreciation or appreciation, then what is the percentage for each machine, each land, each product. That is the power of the FA model. That is only applicable for asset items. No need to calculate depreciation or appreciation for the expense items. Nothing. Okay, na? Just we are using the expense items and we are throwing to okay, na, some scrap or maybe the dustbin. So no need to calculate that's a depreciation or appreciation for the expense items, only for the asset items only. So whenever you purchase any asset items using the tables, it will go to the FA model. It's nothing but a fixed asset. You know? So at last year, we'll go to CM, nothing but a cash management, like a bank statement. Bank statement. Example here, your father deposited 10,000 rupees in your bank account. Okay, na? Is it a debit or credit? Me perspective lo చెప్పండి. Forget about the bank
Debit.
wise. In your perspective, it is a debit. So out of that, you used 7,000 for the PZ. Then it's a credit. Then you used 2,000 for some other expenses. It's called as the credit. So end of the day, end of the month, what is the balance in your bank account? What is the balance?
1,000.
1,000. 1,000 is the debit, correct? Na? Well, you're in the okay, na, past. So now you received one statement saying that in your bank account only 500 rupees balance. What you will do? As per your knowledge. So you did this many transactions. So you keep in your mind. So 10,000 deposit in the last month, 7,000 rupees is spent for the PG, and 2,000 rupees is spent for some personal expenses withdrawn from the ATM. Then in my mind, I already kept in one note. That's a 1,000 balance. But I received one statement from the, or maybe the message from the bank saying that it has only 500 rupees balance. What about remaining 500? What you will do if you get this type of messages? If you receive one message saying that 500 rupees balance in your bank account, so what is your action? As a
Don't check the bank statement.
will go to maybe how to open online, or maybe how to get the bank statement from the bank and compare the transactions. So in the bank, okay, na, you see one more transactions of 500 rupees, some charges. Then you will come to know. Okay, now what is the problem? Suppose you see one message saying that 1,500 rupees is the balance. So normally it's 1,000 rupees. I could say 1,500 rupees the balance. Maybe the 500 rupees is the some interest. Okay, na? So they deposited some interest. Okay, na? So as a person here, if any discrepancy is there, if something is wrong is there with my balance, what I will do, I will go to ATM to get the mini statement. Otherwise, I will go to bank to get the statement. Otherwise, I will log into online. I will check the transactions. So what about companies? They're doing 1,000 of transactions every day. As a person, monthly max will do 10 or 20 transactions, or maybe the 5 transactions. The companies will do 1,000 of transactions, deposit the salaries into employee accounts, or deposit into supplier bank accounts, and getting amounts from the customers. So I need to tally. I need to reconcile. I need to identify any wrong transactions. So for that purpose here, the Oracle has given one software that is called as the cash management. So every week or every quarter we'll get the bank statement. Then we have to clear with our transactions. Whatever the transactions are recorded in the Oracle applications, then I will compare with the bank statement. Then if any wrong transactions are there, then I will note down those transactions. That is the power of the bank statement, nothing but a cash management. Okay. So these are the sub-models under the finance. We have the account payables, we have the account receivables, then general ledger, fixed asset, and the cash management. So these many models will supported by the Oracle. This is related to finance. So out of that here, we are going to learn AP, AR, and GL. Account payables, account receivables. At the end of the day, the data will go to GL. It's nothing but a balance sheet. Both debit and credit will jump into GL model. Okay. So this is about finance here. So any queries here? Okay. So today I purchased 20,000 rupees machine to my company. Is it a debit or credit to my company?
Debit.
Debit. What comes in? Debit. What goes out? It's called as the debit.
Credit.
Then I sold, okay, na? Suppose we are working in the Dell. So we are supporting for the Dell here. I sold one laptop to customer. ఒక ల్యాప్టాప్ 50,000 rupees laptop I sold it to my customer. Is it a debit or credit to my company?
Credit.
Credit.
Credit. Debit or credit?
Credit, sir.
I sold 50,000 rupees laptop to my customer.
It's debit, sir, because we are receiving money, right?
Okay, okay. So here, don't say debit or credit. So 50,000 worthable laptop I'm selling to my customer. At the same time, what I'm doing? It's a product. Then at the same time, I'm receiving
Receiving cash.
cash. So now tell me. So when I sold a product to my customer, we are going to record both transactions, credit as well as the
Debit.
debit. Both here. Okay. So it's called as the double interest system. Okay. Suppose if I purchase something from my supplier, I'm receiving the product. Against that product, we're going to pay to my supplier. So one debit equal to one credit. One debit equal to one credit. That is the international logic here. Wherever you go. So all the companies will use these systems. This is called as a double interest system. A double interest systems. Okay. That means you are selling 50,000 rupees laptop to your customer. At the same time, we are going to receive the 50,000 rupees. Then what is the profit? Where is the profit? 50,000 rupees laptop we are selling to our customer. Then 50,000 rupees cash or maybe online transfer will done by my customer. Where is the profit?
Balance.
No, balance. Balance means that means make the transactions equal. What comes in equal to what goes out. That should be equal. That's why you are going to check the balance. Is there any wrong transactions? We are selling 50,000 rupees laptop to our customer. Then we are receiving the same amount from the customer. Then where is the profit?
We don't know how much వాళ్ళు ఎంత కొన్నారో మనకు తెలియదు కదా సార్.
No, I'm saying 50,000 konar వాళ్ళు.
No profit then.
Okay. What is we are selling with the 50,000? That means it is a manufacturing cost plus profit. Correct, na? Nothing but you can say the MRP, max retail price. So in that year, in the 50K itself, we have the two price types. One is the manufacturing cost of our company, plus we are going to put some profit. All together, we are calling it as the MRP. So 50K means we are not spending 50K to manufacturing that product. Out of that year, so manufacturing cost plus we are going to put some profit also. So if you break up that MRP, we could see multiple price breakups. Not only this one here, maybe some other also, tax, then everything will put it into the 50K. So is that clear? Here we are going to get the revenue, nothing but a profit. Where the word is the revenue, we can call it as the kind of profit. The exact word is the revenue of a company. So clear na? Okay. So this is about finance here. Out of the 5 modules, we are going to learn 3 account payables, account receivables, GL. So now tell me here, account payables or to deal with the who? Suppliers. When you buy any goods or services. Okay, now account receivables when you sold a product to your customers or when you give the services to your customer, then we'll deal with the account receivables. It's only for the customers only, our customers. Okay, in account payables, our company is the customer. Then we are buying from the suppliers. In account receivables, our company is the supplier. We are the suppliers, and we are dealing with the customers. So you have to think like that, yeah. Then only we'll learn the ERP. Otherwise, it's a little clumsy. Okay, you have to think about that. That's easy for us. Okay, to learn the ERP product. So in the account payables, I am the customer. I will buy from the supplier, third party suppliers. So in account receivables, our company is the supplier. Then where we are selling the products to customers. Then we are getting amount from the customers. So at the end of the day, both the AP and AR transactions will go to GL, nothing but a balance sheet, nothing but a one debit equal to one credit. So whatever the debit and whatever the credits will match in the GL balances. So any doubts here? Okay. Now we'll go to SCM here. Supply chain management. It's very, very, very important. And it's very hard to learn here. Not that much. Okay, finance is easy to learn, but the supply chain management is a very tough subject here. So in that, we have the inventory, nothing but a stock. How much stock we maintain by your company, then the daily production, daily productions. So suppose we are manufacturing some machines or maybe some tires manufacturing company. So how many tires will manufacturing daily? So that's called as the inventory, nothing but your asset and your stock of the company. Then